Today, we're going to explore something kind of profound and a bit unsettling. It's a modern fable, really, but it gets at a huge question. Just how powerful is our own mind? So let's just get right to it. Here's the big question. Can a belief literally kill you? I mean, something that's just a thought, an idea in your head. Can it have that much power over your body? To figure this out, we're going to look at this story. This fable about a place called the village of Okaro and a river with a very, very dark secret. Imagine growing up in this village. From the moment you can understand words, you hear this warning whispered. Go near that river and you won't return the same. And this wasn't some fairy tale to scare kids away from the water. No. For the people of Okaro, this was a fundamental law of nature, a truth they saw proven over and over again. Okay, so let's set the scene. Part 1, the Forbidden River. This thing is the absolute center of the village, not just on a map, but in everyone's mind. The rule was just simple and absolute. If you entered the river, you died. Period. It wasn't a maybe. It wasn't a risk of drowning or getting sick. It was a straight-up equation. Water equals death. And nobody, I mean nobody, questioned it. Why would they? The proof was all around them. But here's the really weird part, and this is crucial to the whole story: how they died. See, there were no wounds, no signs of sickness, no logical explanation at all. Someone would go into the river, come out, go about their day, have dinner or go to bed, and just never wake up. That's it. This quiet, mysterious way of dying, well, that's what made the curse so absolutely terrifying and so believable. So you have this whole village for centuries living in the shadow of this deadly river, a cycle of fear and death. But then, one day, everything changes. The whole system gets shattered. Which brings us to part 2, the stranger's defiance. Okay, picture this. It's just a normal afternoon, and this stranger, someone nobody has ever seen before, just walks into the village. And without saying a word, without even a moment's hesitation, he starts walking straight for the river, the one place everyone knows is a death sentence. And he's just calm, like he's going for a stroll in the park. You can just imagine the collective shock, right? The whispers would have just erupted. What is he doing? Somebody stop him. Doesn't he know? But think about it. Their fear of that river was so ingrained, so deep, it literally paralyzed them. No one dared to get close enough to stop him. So the stranger gets in the water, has a bath, gets out, and just walks away. And the entire village just waits. They're holding their breath. But day 1 passes. He's fine. Day 2, still totally fine. By day 3, their entire reality starts to crumble. That absolute rock-solid fear, it's starting to crack. And what's seeping in is something powerful, maybe even dangerous: doubt. Now, this kind of doubt, it can't just hang in the air, right? Someone has to test it. And that's where this story takes a really tragic turn. This is where we get to the fatal contradiction. So, there's this young guy in the village. He sees the stranger survive, and he gets inspired. He wants to be the one, the hero who finally proves the curse is a lie. So he tells everyone, hey, if that guy can do it, I can too. And with the whole village watching, he walks right into that river. And this is the absolute core of the mystery, because that night, the young man dies. Same river, same water, but a totally different result. I mean, look at the difference here. The stranger, totally calm, peaceful, took his time, he lived. The young man, you could see the fear on him. He rushed, kept looking back over his shoulder, and he died. Suddenly, the village is thrown into total chaos. The fear comes rushing back, but now it's all mixed up with confusion. The one question on everyone's lips is, what's the difference? If it's not the water itself, then what in the world is killing people? So while everyone's arguing and panicking, the old village priest steps forward, and he offers this completely radical idea. He tells them to stop looking at the river and start looking inside themselves. He basically suggests the mind itself can be a poison. And he doesn't just give them a speech. He asks a single, powerful question. He says, forget the river for a second. When that young man went in, deep down, what did he believe? And it hits them like a ton of bricks. He believed he was going to die. He was terrified. So here's the priest's big idea, his bombshell theory. He says the body obeys the mind. That's it. It listens to your mind even more than it listens to the physical world around you. We even have a name for this kind of thing. It's called the nocebo effect, where a negative belief can actually cause physical harm. So for these villagers, a belief that strong wasn't just some passing thought. It was a direct order to the body. The takeaway is just stunning. The priest says there's no curse in the river. The poison wasn't in the water. It was in the young man's mind. His own fear killed him. That lifelong, bone-deep belief that river equals death, it became a self-fulfilling prophecy. His body was just following orders from his brain. Okay, so this wild new idea has to be tested, right? And another villager steps up. Not some big, brave warrior, just a regular guy who's just sick and tired of living in fear. He walks to the river, enters the water really slowly, calmly, focusing all his energy on one thought: I am safe. He takes a bath, goes home, and the next morning, he wakes up. It worked. So, problem solved, right? Happy ending. The curse is broken. Knowledge wins the day. Well, not quite. The story has one last, pretty unsettling twist. Let's call this final part the lingering fear. So, months go by, and for most people, the river is fine. They use it every day. But something is still wrong. Every once in a while, someone dies. Just like before. They go to sleep, and they don't wake up. The curse, or whatever it is, isn't completely gone. So now the king is confused and, frankly, a little angry. He goes back to the priest and lays it all out. Okay, you said it was all in the mind. If that's true, then why are people still dying? Why isn't everyone safe? And the priest's answer, man, it just sends a shiver down your spine. It gets right to the heart of how tricky our own minds can be. He just looks at the king and says, because not everyone who smiles is free from fear. And that's really the final lesson, isn't it? The biggest danger isn't the river itself. It's the belief you carry with you when you step into it. The real fight isn't with the world outside, it's with the hidden fears deep inside our own heads. It kind of makes you think, what are the rivers in our own lives that we're afraid to step into?